Hello class, we're going to go ahead and finish up our notes on sequences. We started the video and now this is the second part to the video. So on the back side of your note sheet, we have halfway down we have recursive formulas. And what a recursive formula is, each term is generated from one or more previous terms. So it means you're taking the term before and you're adding to it, subtracting to it, multiplying by it. So you're using the term beforehand to come up with the next term in the sequence. So a very popular sequence is the Fibonacci sequence. If you go ahead and look at this one, you have to try and figure out, well, how are they getting from 1 to 1 and then from 1 to 2? Well, it's not just using one of the numbers before, it's using more than one. If you take 1 plus 1, you get 2. If you take 2 plus 1, you get 3. If you take 2 plus 3, you get 5. If you take 3 plus 5, you get 8, and so on. So what it's doing is it's taking the two numbers before and adding them together. So this is what we call a recursive sequence, and when you have one of those, they usually straight up tell you what the first term is. The first term in this case is 1. A sub 1 is 1. And then it also tells us what the second term is in the Fibonacci sequence. The second term is 1. Well, what did we have to do? Well, in order to get a sub n, okay, we took the two terms before. Well, if n is 3, you took the second term, so 3 minus 1 will give us 2. Sorry, 3 minus 1 will give us 2, so a sub 2, plus the first term, so a sub n minus 2 will give us 1. So it's taking, in this case, if we were trying to figure out the third term, you would take a sub 3 minus 1 plus a sub 3 minus 2. Which is a sub 2 plus a sub 1. Well, that's how we got the number 2 in this case. So that would be the rule that you would write for it. So example 7 says find the first 5 terms of the sequence in which a sub 1 equals 4 and a sub n plus 1 equals a sub n, 3 times a sub n minus 3. So what I want to notice is if I want to have a sub 2, I want this to be a sub 2. Well, what does n have to equal? N will have to equal 1. It's the first term, so it would be a sub 1 plus 1. That gave us a sub 2. And then 3 times, well, it's going to be a sub 1 minus 2, because that's what n is equal to 1. So I go ahead and simplify. Well, 3 times, well, a sub 1 is 4 minus 2, so 12 minus 2 gives us 10. If I go ahead and I do the same thing, I want to figure out, well, a sub 3. Well, in this case, it's going to be a sub, and it's when n will equal 2. So it's a sub 3 is equal to 3 times a sub 2 minus 2. Well, a sub 2 we just found was 10 minus 2. So 3 times 10 is 30. 30 minus 2 is 28. So if you just notice that we are taking every time a sub n is just the term before, so what we would call the previous term. So if we want to find a sub 4, well, we're just going to take 3 times the term before. Well, the term before was 28 minus 2, and so that would go ahead and give us 82. So a sub 4 is 82. And lastly, a sub 5, well, we're going to take 3 times our last term, which was 82 minus 2. And 3 times 82 is 246. So 246 minus 2 gives us 244. And that is my recursive sequence. We also have another example of a recursive sequence. Number 8 says find the first 5 terms of the sequence in which a sub 1 is equal to negative 3. And then a sub n plus 1 is equal to a sub n plus n. Well, once again, in this case, we want to find a sub n plus 1. So we want that to be 2. So I would say, well, that's when n is equal to 1. So I would have a sub 2 is equal to a sub 1 plus, well, my n was 1. My a sub 1 was negative 3 plus 1, which is negative 2. The next one, well, this is when n is equal to 2. So I want to find a sub 3, so it's going to be a sub 2 plus 2. Well, a sub 2 we just found was negative 2 plus 2 will give us 0. The next one, n is equal to 3. So I have a sub 4 is equal to a sub 3 plus what n is, which is 3. My a sub 3 was 0 plus 3, so this is 3. I want you to pause the video for just a minute, and I want you to find a sub 5. Okay, hopefully you found a sub 5. It was when n was equal to 4. So a sub 5 is equal to a sub 4 plus 4. A sub 4 was 3 plus 4, so that will give us 7. Okay. So this is recursive sequences. You're using the term before in order to come up with the next term. So what I would like for you to do is to think of any questions you have and ask me. Otherwise, you will be able to work on the worksheet next. Have a good day.